Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is my first video in this series that I'll be calling Life Lessons That I Am Learning, because we all are a work in progress. I am very passionate over the past 2 years about topics on socializing, on emotional healing, on dating, being single, being out there. Meeting new people is so much something that is such a life skill that I want to share with you guys. So of course my first video, I wanted to share my top 3 ways that I communicate and that I socialize better than I did before. How I improved meeting new people and creating new relationships and fostering them like a plant. You know, letting them grow slowly with time, taking care of it. It is so important in creating long-term results when it comes to relationships. So if I had to pick the top 3, I wrote it down and I'm gonna try to focus on this list. I first wanted to share my history of socializing, and working on my self-esteem and my core confidence has helped me so much and improved my socializing. So 2 things. First off, I am a triplet. I was born into this world with 2 best friends, all girls, and I always had them by my side, besides the good friends that I picked up along the way. And 2, when I was younger, I had a little bit of a stutter. It did scare me in opening a conversation. I did have, again, my friends and my sisters that I was just comfortable with, and whenever we went out, we were together. And I realized that in my mid to high 20s, when my good friends and my sisters got married, and I had to start socializing, meeting new friends that I connected with, had the same life goals, and again, me not just dating one-on-one, which was easier for me, but me being in a social setting and meeting new people and new guys in different ways. It was just getting out there and going to different events, different chills, different parties. All of a sudden I realized how I was literally like frozen in fear. I also grew up in an all-girls school, and to me, talking to guys alone, just in a public setting, going over to them and coming over to me, was very scary, talking to the opposite gender. I had so many things that I needed to work on, and I knew that just sitting at home being scared, Netflixing, was not the answer. And I knew I had to start working on that. And I started my journey over 2 years ago. I can now go into a social setting confident. I can go myself or with friends. I know who I am, and I had to journal that, which I'm going to get into, and really knowing who you are, knowing that you are enough, knowing that you bring things to the table, you are not in competition with anyone else, you're unique in your own way, God created you for a reason. And then just meeting new people and fostering those relationships are so important, with boundaries. And yes, let's get into them. So I'm going to also recommend some books that I've researched, that I've done the work with, and it will help you so much in just starting that path to social confidence in any setting. And we're all humans, and we're all complex, and we're all inside going through so many things, and it's so important to understand that and know that creating relationships should never stop you from living the life that you want, in having good friends and good dating experiences. Get into it. So my top 3 tips, if I had to, it's my first video, my top 3 that I would share with you guys that's changed the way I socialize is: 1, having your core self-esteem and core confidence in you. This step I'm gonna have to go into a little bit, but 1, the fact that you can sit down right now and know that you are worthy, you are lovable, that you are an amazing person, you are unique, God made you, and you are enough. Just knowing that, writing that down before going into any event is so important. And I know many people think the outfit or the makeup is gonna make them the star of attention. It might help you a little bit, short-term result, but we're looking for long-term results. You should always look good and present yourself beautifully when you're out there socializing, but you have to work inside. There's many guys who look good, but they are very insecure and they overcompensate and they try to be the star of the show. They don't let other people talk. This is someone that you want to stay far from. You don't like someone like that. And then if there is a girl also, she had her makeup done for this event and she dresses a certain way, it's going to attract. But if you are someone who's intimidating and you have this aura of, are you good enough for me, which I find some girls do, and I was also guilty of that, many guys are not going to approach you. And there's results that you want when you go to these places. You want to create authentic relationships. So 1, knowing that you are enough, that you don't have to overcompensate in any way, is so important. I started reading books on why I have social anxiety, why I feel like I'm not enough. I read books from Dr. Aziz. I highly recommend it. I will link his books down below. He has a book on social anxiety and book on how not to be nice, which is a really good book on just opening your eyes to the fact that many times we are people pleasing and we are not showing people who we are and our boundaries and what we are carrying out okay with, and also expressing ourselves. And why I'm not attracting, certain friends or certain guys, it was because of this. And I started doing the work and it changed everything. Another 2 points I want to say on this topic is that, one, when you start to make a list and journal of your top 5 unique traits, some people are very scared to do this, some people don't even know what's going on inside, but the things that your close family and your friends tell you that you're so unique, that you're so good to them, how and why you're such a good friend, is something you should always go back on before you go into an event, knowing that you're enough and that you're unique in this way. No, you're not in competition with anyone else. Someone's always going to be prettier, it's going to be louder, more interesting. It doesn't matter. You're unique in your own ways. And I feel that, again, more to talk about in the future, but I feel that also the friend and the kind of guy you want to attract, or the guy that you want, certain qualities that they have, if you don't have those qualities, you should start working on them. I know that I am someone who doesn't like someone negative, someone who's self-deprecating. I know that I've met many guys or like girls who do this or gossip. I am very much not into that. I want to attract people with value. Someone who sees a positive in life, that maybe is going through some things, but they know that positivity and being grateful is something that is so attractive in any friend, in any kind of guy that you date. So I think it's also about improving some things that you feel they are lacking in order to attract that. And then 2 is writing down your top 5 passions. Many people are doing the 9-to-5 grind. Maybe they went to college, they didn't do something they loved, something that the community or their parents told them. That's fine. You're paying the bills. It's fine. That's for another topic. But at least writing down what you're passionate about on the side. You love long walks that you can meditate, clear your mind. You love nature. There are so many things that make you unique. And what you stand for in your life views, is so important to know, because when you know who you are, you're going out into the world, people see how interesting you are because you voice why you feel about a certain situation. You can get into conversations, have a point of view. 2 is listening. I feel that when you go socialize, people don't listen anymore. People are just on their phones, there's no eye contact. It's such a turn on. Again, just making friends or meeting a guy. And I've done this and I started implementing it for the past 2 years. It took time and it changes everything. When you go into an event being curious, being attentive, that person gets the number at the end. That person wants to still talk to you after the event. They want to be friends with you, and that's the key. I want you to go into an event knowing that this time you'll just listen. You don't have to talk so much about yourself unless they ask. Then you can talk more about yourself. The more you get to see this person and hang out more and more, and we'll talk about that in the future. I know that when I started going to an event, when I got past the point of just getting comfortable in my own skin, standing in my own space, and socializing with people, not just staying home, putting on Netflix and being in bed, I got more used to it and I got more confident in being in my own space. Besides that, when you get to that point, it is so good to start listening to people. Many people overtalk over other people or don't want to listen because they're afraid of the awkward silence. They're afraid that they have to be interesting, otherwise someone's not going to love them. Not the case at all. When you listen, that's when you attract people who want to actually hang out with you again. They feel heard, they feel validated. So I started, after this, getting comfortable being out there, I started listening. I used to just ramble on, then I stopped doing that. I closed my mouth and I just listened. I would come in, if there was new faces, I would come over, hey, how are you? I'm Frady, I haven't met you before. Then I would ask about how they know the host, where they come from, and that's it. These are questions that just spur the conversation of getting to know them, and then I promise you will get to know each other more as you guys hang out more. It is a game changer. Please, next time, listen, make eye contact, get to be curious about who this person is, and know that you are enough, that you could be on the back burner right now, and just listen. If everyone came into a party just wanting to listen and get to know people, it it would change things. And the third thing is communicating boundaries. This is something that I find so important in creating lasting relationships, because many times when you get to meet somebody, and if there's some things you're not comfortable with and you don't voice them because you feel that you are not worthy of being heard or validated, and that comes from obviously trauma, from when you grew up, someone told you to be quiet and that your opinion didn't matter. That's a whole different topic that I want to talk about. But again, communicating boundaries, that if something deep inside you're not comfortable with, it is so important to either take a break and let this person know that you need just to think about some things that you guys talked about, and then the next day talk about it with them, some things you weren't comfortable with. This always happens. The more you get to know somebody, the more there's going to be some thorns that they have. And again, everyone has flaws, but you guys are going to have to see if you can communicate and talk it out. This comes with even making new friends. It is so important, because if you start layering boundaries you haven't voiced, you'll start to build a deep resentment for this person, and it will be too late. You're not going to like this person anymore. And it is such a skill to practice. And when you meet new people, if something inside you doesn't feel right, take a breather, communicate it in a very respectful way. And I want to make a video also on how to respectfully talk about your boundaries in a very nice, sincere manner. And it's all about how you're feeling. It's not about blaming. It's about how you're feeling and why, and talking it out with this person. So again, really important. Many of these things might seem very deep to you guys if someone's very new to this topic, but I promise you we're going to get into it more in the future. And yes, that's it. Subscribe if you want to hear more on my life lessons that I am learning, and yes, I incorporated all of them and I am still learning. So I'm here as an example for you guys of what worked and what didn't. And yes, if you guys liked, I can't wait to share my next one, and have an amazing day. Bye.